Today I want to talk about buying a SIM card in Vietnam. It's pretty similar to almost everywhere in the world, to be honest. It's using common sense and doing a bit of research, but I'm going to step you through the process of buying a SIM card here in Vietnam. We bought ours in Hanoi. It's the same process if you're in one of the other big cities here. When you arrive into Vietnam, there's good Wi-Fi in the airports, so make use of it. You can buy SIM cards in the airport. It's not my preferred way of doing it. There's a lot of risks involved. They're generally tourists' cards, and if you have any problems, you're going to have to go back to that vendor. They also cost a great deal more. You can pay sort of 2, 3, 400,000 dong for a tourist card, which will give you less quality connection, less gigabytes, and less customer service than if you buy a local SIM. So use the Wi-Fi in the airport to get your taxis, hotels, and everything that you need to get organized. I would suggest using the Grab app at the airport to order your taxi or whatever method you decide to get into your hotel or city center. Once you're there, put a little bit of time aside and head to a genuine Viettel store. Now, there are other national brands out there. I think Mobitel is one of them. I like Viettel. I've heard good things about it, and the coverage is good also. Should you go to the store, if you're only here for a week or two, it's up to you. I still think you get a better deal if you go directly to the Viettel store. Both in Hanoi and Ho Chi Minh City, there are really good Viettel stores in the city centers. The one we went to in Hanoi is right next to the old town quarter and within about sort of 50 meters of the lake. If you go in there, they will still try to sell you a tourist card, which will be 200,000 or 300,000 dong. But just tell them you'd like a local SIM card and you're entitled to one. You'll have to pay 50,000 dong for the SIM card, and you will need your passport identification to get the SIM card registered. After that, you can pretty much buy any local Vietnamese package you like. For example, we were going to buy a 3 gigabyte package, which was 50,000 dong. I decided to upgrade it to a 7 gigabyte package. I don't need telephone calls. I can keep in contact with pretty much everybody around the world through WhatsApp and Facebook and various sort of other apps. If you need talk time, you'll have to buy that in addition. So after you've been insistent and you've got yourself a local SIM, and they only need a little prompting, but they're happy to sell you one. The staff in the Viettel I found to be really helpful. They'll register the SIM for you. Once you've got the SIM, you then buy some credit and decide what sort of package you want, whether you want telephone calls or data. We actually decided to go with a 7 gigabyte. It worked out only 70,000 dong, so the whole package was 120,000 dong. I think that's probably around about $6, but forgive me if I'm not right. You can always check that. There were packages starting from as little as 30,000 dong, so it's a lot cheaper. I should warn you, there are a lot of stores in the cities that have the Viettel sign on them. Some of them can be trusted, but it's just safer not to. I've heard many stories of people buying Viettel cards. They've activated them and they've been second-hand cards. They've run out within a few days and you're already on the road, so you can't get hold of the retailer, or they'll just completely ignore you if you try to go back. So just keep it simple. Go to Viettel or one of the other 2 or 3 internationally recognized telecom companies here in Vietnam. They all have their own stores. Ask for the local SIM. And if you're interested to watch the video process of Michelle and I going to buy the SIM in Hanoi, that's going to follow straight after this. If you need to know any more information, I think I've pretty much covered it all, but you can comment down below and share your thoughts with other viewers on Steve's Kitchen. And we've done now a few SIM card how-tos on the channel, so I'll probably leave a little playlist for different parts of the world buying SIM cards.
You're going to look out for a Viettel office like this one, genuine Viettel office. Don't get them in the little store holders or your hotel or at the airport. You're going to pay a lot. You want to go into one of these stores. There are a couple of other contenders, but personally, I think Viettel have got the best coverage across Vietnam, so I'm checking out Viettel. So it's important that you remember when you come in, if you're staying here for any longer period of time, don't get the tourist card. You want the local card. You need to buy a SIM card. You need to have your passport with you also if you're going to get a SIM card. And then you can top up or charge the card. So how much is the SIM card?
It's 50,000 dong.
So I got this lovely lady, Tiao, in Viettel. And she's setting me up the SIM card. It's 50,000 dong for the SIM card, and then I'm going another 50 to get 3.5 gigabytes. You can get a 7 gigabyte package, which is a little bit cheaper, a little bit more expensive. Sorry, it's a tiny bit more expensive. Michelle's just reminded me. So you can get the 7 gigabyte. Do we want the 7, Michelle? Are we going to live stream this month?
It's only actually an extra 20, isn't it? It's 70,000.
Okay.
Because that's a
Tiao,
100. Yes.
can I get the 7 gigabyte?
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's for 30 days?
Yes, for 30 days.
Okay, so we're going to go with the 7 gigabyte because I might do some live streaming this month, and we can decide. You can top the SIM card up. You're buying a local SIM card, you need your passport, as I told you, and you can top up the data. 7 is a lot of data, to be honest. If you're just making phone calls on WhatsApp or Line or Viber, whatever you use, you can pretty much keep in touch with everybody all over the world with those packages. But if you want to do what we do with the YouTube and the live streaming, then you're probably going to need that extra data. But I have found in the past, we've bought the extra data, we've never quite used it. I'll put the address of this place. It's very near the lake in Hanoi. But all of the big cities in Vietnam, they have the Viettel offices. Now, I may not have said this before on the walk down here, but you really do have to be careful. Don't, if you see the Viettel sign on some of the little stores, don't be tempted to go into those stores and buy the cards. Quite often what you do is you might pay a similar sort of package, and the card may just run out after 2 or 3 days, and you'll get nowhere, trust me. There's second-hand cards. There's all sorts of scams going on, so stay in the official building. It's just much safer, and all around you're not going to get any headaches. So this is the top-up card, and you scratch off, and then put the code, and you get 50,000 dong.
How you star 100 star and your code, and in the end you.
And the other side?
Yeah.
Other side. So it looks like this.
Yeah.
Thank you. So star 100, star code hashtag. So you get one of these little SIM card top-ups, say 50,000 dong, and you put that code in, and then you're topped up.
It's a code in an. Star 100 star.
Star. Okay, hashtag.
You call.
And call.
Yeah, you have 50,000 dong.
Okay. Okay.
Yes.
So we bought 50,000 plus 20,000, then we get the 7 gigabyte. And the lady sweetly, she's doing it all for me. And we had the same thing in Indonesia. I don't know if you remember when we did the SIM card there. And I reckon if I walked out now, she'd forget that we haven't paid. But we won't do that, of course.
Yes, thank you 191.
KTTK
Yes, thank you
2191.
Yeah, it's free message.
Uh-huh.
And you wait.
And you wait, and it sends a message back with the balance, yeah?
Yeah. You have 7 gigabytes.
7.161 megabyte, yeah. So there you have it. That's how to get a SIM card in Vietnam. Ever so simple. Don't forget though, if you want a tourist card, you can get them other places, but I really wouldn't recommend it. Come to the proper store and get a local card. It'll save you a lot of money, a lot of stress, and probably heartache. All you need to do is remember to bring your passport. Now, I think that worked out around about 120,000 dong, which is maybe about $6 US. I'm not 100% sure. You can work it out at the time of watching this video. So Viettel is just here. The lake, the old quarter is just over here, and the lake is just about 50 meters at the most. And there's a big Viettel sign above us, so you'll find it quite easy. Well, that was a lot of fun. The lady did actually do what happened to us in Indonesia as well, because we were sort of friendly and chatting with her and explaining what we wanted to do. She forgot to charge me. We went to leave the store, everything activated, and
I kind of knew that she'd forgotten this time because I was aware of it. So we had a bit of a laugh, and I said to her, "Have we finished?" And she said, "Yes, bye-bye." And I said, "But I haven't paid yet." And she sort of went, oh yes. And be honest, if that ever happens to you, make sure you pay for it. It's a small amount of money to pay for very good internet connections, by the way. And some of you may ask me, how good are the internet connections here in Vietnam? Well, certainly in the cities, and even on the trains that we've been on between Hanoi and Da Nang, we found the connections have been super fast. We're getting sort of at least 4G connections and pretty steady. So I hope that helps you. Share this video with your friends and family. Be good, and we'll see you for some fun on Steve's Kitchen, probably around Vietnam or somewhere else in the world. See you then.